I wouldn't say that anybody who eats meat is a bad person because of that. It's an issue with society and the government and how it's forced on us to believe that it's this humane, natural thing that we're supposed to be eating and drinking and consuming every single day.
My name is Natalie and I'm here with
Kirsten.
Sonia.
And today we're going to be talking about the starfish story, which you guys hadn't heard, so I'll tell it real quick. So basically there's a beach and there are a bunch of starfish all over the beach, like hundreds of them. And there's this kid going around and he's picking up a starfish and throwing them in the water, and he just keeps doing that. And then this old man comes up to him and he says, "Why are you even bothering to save the starfish? There's too many of them. You're not going to make a difference." And the kid looks at him and then he picks up a starfish, throws it in the water and says, "I made a difference to that one." So what do you guys think about that story?
I think it's a cute story to teach like young kids.
Yeah, that's usually what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I think it's a good story that focuses on like individualism and the point that each individual can make a difference and matters in their own way.
Do you think that individuals can make a difference, like in the society we live in?
Yeah, I think that's true because if like we all start at some point, at least we're all eventually going to be doing it together. So it really just starts with one person.
Yeah, that's a good point, is that like pretty much all movements throughout history have started with individuals who kind of come together. So what would you say to someone who like didn't want to vote because they didn't think it would make a difference?
I would say that it's definitely important to vote and use that right that we're given in this country, and it can make a difference because if you think about a lot of people deciding that their vote doesn't matter, that it adds up.
Yeah, and then it ends up not mattering, right? Yeah. So what do you guys think about the idea of saving starfish and like saving animals?
Yeah, like I feel like every person always like wants to save animals and wants to save like the area that we live in, but then we don't try. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's good to like bring in people to like actually start caring about the other creatures where we live.
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I think saving animals is really a crisis that needs more attention, especially in the U.S., the way factory farming is, and just overall treatment of animals, as well as the contribution to all global crises going on right now, like global warming and everything. It's all because of the mistreatment of animals, at least a major factor in it.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and a lot of people don't really know about that. Like, people are more likely to blame transportation, but yeah, industrial agriculture, or just animal agriculture in general, is a huge part of it. So do you think that animals are mistreated in the industry?
100%, yeah. I grew up, my dad has been vegan my whole life, so I grew up watching a lot of vegan documentaries and PETA documentaries, and it's just so brutal the way that they're treated when you really think about it. We're animals just like them. Just because we have the brain function to talk in a way that we understand doesn't mean that they don't feel the exact range of emotions that we do. So
yeah, a lot of times people say that vegans are like anthropomorphizing animals, but really you're right that we are animals as well, and we're similar in the ways that matter, for sure. So are you guys vegan, or?
I'm not actually.
Yeah, how about you?
I'm vegetarian most of the time. I definitely slip up sometimes in the past few years, but I'm trying to get back into it. And then my entire life I've been vegan when I'm with my dad, so a good half of my life I've been.
Yeah, it makes it easier to have like that support there. Yeah, so I guess when it comes to saving animals, it's not always obvious how we can do that. We're not always surrounded by a beach full of starfish, but probably the best way you can save animals is to go vegan. Do you know how many animals a vegan saves per year?
I've definitely heard the statistic in my life many times, but I don't remember. But I know it's a substantial amount, as well as the amount of water that you save by being vegan and the amount of carbon footprint you decrease by being vegan.
Yeah, totally. So, you probably don't remember the statistics because they're kind of all over the place, so it's hard to really like nail it down, but the estimates range from anywhere to 30 animals per year to 600 animals per year. But let's be safe and say like maybe 100. Do you think if you looked out and saw 100 animals, would that be a pretty big difference?
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because it adds up, like, over time.
Yeah, totally. Like you were saying earlier about the individuals kind of coming together to form a movement. And you're absolutely right about the climate change element as well. I don't know if you're familiar with that 2018 study that came out of Oxford that essentially said that if you wanted to reduce your impact on the environment, the best thing to do would be to go vegan. Okay, cool.
agree with that. I definitely am working towards being fully vegan. It's hard because I'm French and I love cheese, and I know there are good replacements. I've tried every vegan food in the world probably. Yeah, I'm trying, and it's definitely something I'm passionate about, and my morals definitely all line up with veganism.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Do you feel similarly? Like maybe you're not trying
It's
yet?
been like a goal of mine to like eventually go vegan and never go back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what would be like the biggest barrier? You said yours is cheese. How about for you?
Honestly, for me, like since I was younger, I always wanted to go vegan, but I liked bacon a lot. And then when I got COVID, I hated the taste, and I'm like, there's no point if that was the only thing that I liked. So,
Sorry, this kid's like looking at my camera. Wait, what were you saying?
that I just like didn't want to give up bacon, and then the taste changed for me. So now I'm like, if I hate bacon, then I'm not gonna eat any more meat. There's nothing holding me back at this point.
Okay. So it was just the bacon was like the last thing, and now you don't even want that anymore. But okay, let's say like, what if you did enjoy the taste? Like, what do you think is more important, your taste pleasure or animals' lives?
Yeah, honestly,
Definitely
animals' lives.
I get so disappointed in myself every time I slip up on my vegetarianism, and it's not even that the meat is so good, it's just like convenience. It's what's on the menu. I order it, and then afterwards I'm like, I didn't even like that. I don't know why I'm eating it. I feel hatred for myself whenever I eat it, but I've gone fully vegan before and just slipped out of it over time, but I definitely will be again.
And yeah, I guess convenience for me, that was kind of the biggest barrier for me was convenience, just because I'm like so lazy. Like,
Also, we're just teenagers, so like fast food culture is a big thing and all that. And my mom isn't vegan or vegetarian, so will just be stuff in the house, and I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna eat it. But yeah, definitely being around my dad more. I'm always vegan with him, and it's not that hard to find vegan food when you really are passionate about it.
yeah, I'm like always surprised by how easy it is. Like before I was vegan, I wouldn't have thought there was like anything here in the French Quarter, but there's, like almost everywhere you go has a vegan option.
Everywhere. I've had some of the best vegan food in some of the most traditional southern cities, and in Atlanta there's great vegan food. Slutty Vegan is
I've wanted to go there for so long. It's really good.
it's amazing. It's incredible. Paris has a really great vegan food. Everywhere there are options.
I'm glad to hear that Paris does, because whenever I meet French people, they're very, most of them don't really have as high of regard for animals as the Americans I tend to meet. But, that could just be who I've run into. So, yeah, what's more important, your convenience or animals' lives?
Definitely
Animals' lives, yeah, because we need to learn how to not be so convenient all the time.
Yeah.
and not view them as just a source of money and whatnot. That's, I think, the reason for French people, there aren't as many vegan French people or in other European countries, is the treatment of animals is generally a lot better over there when it does come to the meat production industry. Obviously, they're still killed, but it's not like it is here where it's just shooting steel rods through their heads and just they're full of cancer and hormones and pumped with all this stuff. They're just raised and then killed. There's no humane killing, but it's more humane.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. I wouldn't say that.
Do you know how pigs are killed in the U.S. typically?
Isn't it they go through a electric shock bath? Or is that chickens?
That's typically chickens, but the pigs, I think, is even worse. Around 85% of the time, they're put into gas chambers. That's considered the most humane, and they, thrash around and are in pain and everything. So yeah, it's pretty horrific what we do to animals. Do you think that in the future, maybe once lab-grown meat's invented or once more people go vegan, are people going to look back on how we treat animals with complete horror?
Yeah, I feel like we will
so.
see it because that's the reason why people kind of want to stop eating meat so much, is because the way that we're eating it is just murder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome. So would it be accurate to say that your morals are in line with veganism?
Yeah.
All the morals, considering the ethical treatment of animals, as well as all of the other factors that support veganism. Like when you talk to real scientists about it, we're not biologically made to eat meat. Our stomachs aren't made that way. Our teeth aren't made that way.
Canines.
Yeah, we only have these canines formed over time from us eating meat. We weren't and that's why all of our back teeth are just flat, made for chewing vegetables.
Yeah, and
Evidence that supports not
and like our sense of smell is really bad, but like we're very visual, so that points to like seeing plants. Like we're not going to be able to smell an animal. And
I do believe sort of that humans are supposed to tolerate fish, possibly, because that seems like catching a fish, but when it comes to like, we wouldn't hunt down cows and pigs and all these animals in the wild.
I guess we kind of did. I mean, with like gazelle or whatever, we would like run them down. But yeah, that's kind of more like just because we can do something, does that mean we should?
Take advantage of the most peaceful animals who aren't. It's not in their nature for them to fight back. Cows are some of the kindest animals. Pigs are some of the kindest animals. Have you been to farm sanctuaries?
No, not yet. I'd love to go. There aren't any around here, unfortunately.
You should visit them.
Yeah, I would love to. If anyone watching this has a sanctuary I can go to, let me know. Well, do you guys have any questions for me? Anything I could do to like make it easier for you to make the switch to vegan?
I don't know. I feel like because of how much veganism experience I have, I'll be able to get into it. I just need to make it a main focus and stop focusing on convenience so much.
Yeah.
It's hard being a teenager, but
I don't remember what it's like. I think I blocked that part out. Yeah. How about for you?
Yeah, I feel like she's definitely inspired me more to like be vegan.
I force her to force like PETA videos.
Forcing your views on her.
No, you better watch this video. It'll make you scared.
Me, like, so much about it, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is horrible what I've been doing my whole life. Like, I really want to change it. And I feel like I haven't even thought about like me just being one person, like not being able to make a difference, because I feel like it will.
Yeah.
Because like I'll feel like I will.
Yeah, well, that's amazing.
An issue with like, I wouldn't say that anybody who eats meat is a bad person because of that. It's an issue with society and the government and how it's forced on us to believe that it's this humane, natural thing that we're supposed to be eating and drinking and consuming every single day.
Yeah, it's, the meat lobby with their propaganda is like insane. Like, you go to the grocery store, all the labels say humane, and it's right. It's just it's pretty dire. And we basically, at this point, I feel like need to just focus our efforts on stopping this because it's continuing to get worse. Factory farming is moving into more developed nations, and so I unfortunately I think the problem's going to get worse before it gets better. But that's just another reason for us to do what we can.
To the most common meats eaten are processed meats, and they're listed as a number one carcinogen along with cigarettes. So
yeah, it's nuts. So if you guys could push a button and the world would go vegan overnight, so no animals would be abused for fur, for food, for entertainment, do you think that's a world you'd rather live in?
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like everything will like look more alive then, like, and there'll be more animals that we don't even know that we could have.
It disrupts the natural ecosystem heavily. So if that didn't exist, the climate crisis would heavily reverse. Everything would be better.
Yeah, 100%. And since you kind of brought up disrupting the ecosystem, I think it's important to know right now that there's this huge bird flu kind of ravaging the country that started with chickens, but now it's spreading to eagles and owls. So yeah, a lot of...
It's going to be really expensive in eggs and poultry. Yeah.
Which is great. Drive the costs up. But I mean, it sucks that, I think like 27 million birds had to be put down or something. And then, just wild birds getting caught up in it too. It's really, really unfortunate. Cool. Well, I guess, do you guys have any other questions for me? You want to cut it here?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, and if you missed yesterday's video, click to the left.